So GPL has come into an area called Thorn, and there seems to be a massive squatting area down at the back here, and this is in the Tushin area. And as you can see, this is even before. Normally we start when they're doing the cutting, or it come after they do the cutting. So this place is wet. You see cloth there and the electricity wires, the wires that tying up. Right? You see what's going on here? Electrical wires running all the way on the lamp post.
Let me see what color.
And them guys checking the
We're looking at 2.6 amps.
this for one leg.
There's on one leg. 0.7 amps. Got 6.4 amps.
Those with pulling right now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Different phase. And if you could see here, see the exposed wires.
Wow. And look, this wire in the water, guys.
Yeah.
Now watch. It exposed there. How dangerous this is. So, you got the guys going up on the lamppost and then start doing the disconnection. And as you see just now, and it gives you a better understanding. That's why we gotta be live. We gotta be deliberate in our actions in curbing this kind of thing. Now, some people would want to suggest, man, people got a life, people living, people need electricity, but illegality in no way, shape, or form cannot be facilitated because people got children and all, and because it's dangerous. Then it's going to come down to a case that children are going to die. You understand? All right. So I see one man, they don't loosen out heating. People are going to be electrocuted. Watch at all these wires, how these wires run. Right? Look there. On the houses, how the wires is run. For those of you who have just tuned into the Guyanese Critic Live, I'm covering GPL's loss reduction, theft of electricity disconnection, and you just see the amps that is being pulled, right, for the electricity. So this whole place is wet, and you have electric wires running all over the place, in drains, in pipes, all of this, right? You see here, pipes, then the wire comes out. 3 persons have died in the last month because of improper.
As such, all lines will be removed. Again, I warn you to desist on such days. Okay, man? Okay.
So GPL is not only disconnecting but giving warnings to people. Let me get past. So wow. Lots of electric wires here. Very unsafe practices. And Mr. Luknat is the head of the GPL Loss Reduction Unit, and with assistance from police ranks from the Lenora police station. So this is the wires. It's a network of wire, like a web.
Last time we warned you guys to desist on such days, right?
Of illegal connections. There's a whole web here of illegal connections. So GPL is also giving warning. Wow. So if you walk through here, you'd recognize that a lot of wires in here look like lines, but it's not lines, it's illegal connections. And what's more worrying is that when you see before, when we were coming in there just now, they had some of the connections not properly affixed, and obviously if it's stolen electricity, it's not properly fixed, so it could cause, and again, 3 persons lost their life for the last month as a result of poor electricity theft and poor connectivity. So GPL is in the area and going to be removing. It seems that the word has gone wrong. All of this, the word has gone wrong because I'm seeing some wires coming down. Hi, morning. Not too well today that I got to see the taking off your electricity, but it's a necessary evil got to be gotten rid of. Now watch what you're going on here, right? This is look like it's web in the air. All of this is coming from a tree. Now if there's some leak of electricity now from the wires into the tree, this whole place is wet. By the way, this whole place is wet and damp, right? So look, you got look at the kind of connectivities you have here. Open. If somebody jam this, they could be electrocuted. Watch the wiring. You can't even figure out what is where. You can't even differentiate between the wires and the vines here, right? That is the danger, because when this place get wet, things get ground off and people get electrocuted. This here not only speaks to electricity theft, but it speaks to safety. Sorry. Nobody wants to lose a loved one, right? So if you see, look at this. So these are wires running on zinc. Louis said the wire blowing and there's a bruising and the zinc ground off, and then when you touch it, this is wire running between zinc. Look, the wire running across zinc, right? Look at the wire swaying over a period of time now with the breeze blowing. Louis said bruise. Louis said this wire, Louis said this wire come and start bruising here, right? Look at here. Look at how these, look what's going on here, right here. Look at all these giants. There's a network of wires. Dangerous situation here. Lots of wires in here. It's like a web. All illegal connections. And then the houses, them, as never says wood, and they got adequate, what's the thing when you're doing wiring? You just got, not conductors, the other material that's used to make sure electricity don't move from the wire to other materials. Connectors, right? They ain't got proper connections and all these kind of things, because now you got wire going directly to zinc that people come into contact with. Normally zinc is by the top of the house. A lot of the fences here are complete zinc, you know. This house is complete aluminum and zinc and all them things. So again, it's something has to be looked at, and I think I'm going to use this opportunity to let Mr. Luknad, the head of loss reduction for GPL, give us an update as to what exactly is GPL doing here, and then we can go to the people who are removing the illegal lines. Mr. Luknad, give me an update, just from the technical perspective.
So we have already visited this area twice. And
when you said twice, this year or?
Yes, twice this year.
Okay.
This is our third visit down here, and they continue to conduct themselves in this manner. I mean, you could see the kind of connections here. Some of these connections them have plastic bags, and we continue to talk to these people then because of the danger. It's not about the. I know loss reduction is about, we have a high percentage of losses, but is the losses of lives and animals. And I think recently they were, for the past 2 weeks, we have about 4 or 5 deaths already electrocuted. And I am shocked to know that nobody's not been get shocked or electrocuted in this manner here. Because of the rainy season.
Very unsafe practice.
Very unsafe practices.
All right, Mr. Luknad.
I think most of these people housing here is some kind of regular rent.
Okay.
I don't think the area is regularized, so they have to get themselves in order before GPL could come and do an assessment to get legal clearance.
Do you take adequate information, Mr. Luknad? Because just now one of the guys was taking a tester and showing me how much amps coming in, use of electricity. From these loss reduction exercises, do you have adequate information to know what is the loss to the national grid? Because there's a cost. Everything has a cost. Yeah. If something is used, do you take information and carry it back within GPL to get a better understanding of, like an area like this, how much does it cost the national grid on a yearly basis? You got any ideas, or do you take information that would help you with that analysis?
The last assessment we would have done here, based on the amperage that we would have been, is about $27 million per month that we losing here in this one area here. because there's lots of electricity being used. They have all amenities like fridge and freezer.
I just see I'm going to the electric washing machine there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's about $27 million alone in this area for a month.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Lupna, thanks. So, guys, you see what you're going on. This is bathroom and this is water. There's a swampy area. Unfortunately, people are
these little kids,
living under these circumstances. A lot of children also. Very, very unfortunate circumstances. So we got to try to see, yes, is nice and fair for these people to have their lives regularized. And as Mr. Lupnat is saying, several of these people would be Venezuelan immigrants. Unfortunately, they found themselves in a situation where they have to come to Guyana to seek refuge. But nonetheless, we can't condone illegality here. We still got to regularize ourselves and organize ourselves. Because what most people don't pay attention to with electricity theft, once the electricity is used, so GPL buys fuel and GPL services the generator and hire staff and hire people and pay people, and all of that culminates to a certain amount of electricity. So much kilowatts of electricity on a daily basis because of the demand that is needed. So GPL creates a supply for a demand that exists. Now, GPL in turn collects compensation through bill payment by the customer to support that supply that was demanded of them and they created. But if GPL is not getting the amount of money for the electricity that they're producing, they're not getting everybody to pay their fair share, then you have a problem, whereas the people who are paying have to pay more, right? Because, like, for instance, there is a cost. If GPL could ascertain from their statistics that $27 million of loss as a result of theft of electricity in this area, somebody has to pay that $27 million. Most likely it's the people in this area who are paying their electricity bill up to date, and the law-abiding citizens, right? So that is one of the things that people have to look at and have not been looking at, right? So it's very important for people to understand. Because people say, oh man, people got live, people got children, but there are a lot of Amerindian communities that don't have electricity. And they don't go about stealing electricity. Now, efforts are being made to have them solar panels and so on to satisfy the demands of the electricity needs in far-flung communities. But nonetheless, there are a lot of communities that don't have electricity and don't have access to steal GPL's electricity. So the excuse can't be people got children. There are people all over the world that have children. There are people that don't have electricity. Electricity and the electrification process should be one that is organized because of the adverse effects if electricity distribution is not done properly. Like, for instance, with all of this wiring here, GPL would have checked and created transformers in this community for the amount of house lots in the community. They wouldn't have taken consideration into all these different electricity connections. So, the main fact there's an overload to the system and the transformer, you're now going to get a problem, whereas the transformer is going to blow. Because GPL would have run lampposts in this area and set up transformer to adequately supply existing homes, the existing homes, right? So they didn't expect you're going to add on 300 houses on a transformer. And the main fact that the electricity supply is illegal, it is not used in a proper fashion, most likely. It's not used in a proper fashion, right? It's not safe for even the children. Everywhere you go, you see wire run in the water. And the electricity, the wires here are not made for such things. It's not waterproof wiring. And you see the wire run in the gutter, in the swamp. So for those of you who've just tuned in, the Guyanese Critic is coming to you from Wrong Turn. a squatting community on the east bank of Essequibo. And most people consider here to be West Coast, but just at the Zealot, the beginning of Zealot and Tushin, these communities are in the Essequibo. Right? So I can go and show you back. And this is a squatting. I'll show you the areas and the kind of wiring, and some GPL staff have gone around to get to the source of the electricity supply, because sometimes they cut the wires and start moving it, and it could cause harm and injury to GPL staff also, because you need to cut the electricity supply from the source. And there's a lot of wires that end up, so they've already done the disconnection process here and gathered the wires and remove the wires from here. And GPL is also warning, because they said they've been here 3 times for the year. So just now, yeah brother, so just now they had wires going all the way up here. They since removed that, wires running in the gutter, and if you look at the start of the video you'll see that. And then you have wires were over there, they've since removed that. But this is there's a church here. Is a bit of land, it seems. It's government's land, a little swat of land that's been left unattended, and people decided to start squatting. The funny thing is, this place is very sappy and wet. It's the rainy season. Look at the wires. Look at the wires here. Look at what's going on here. Look at the wires. You see the wires? See the wire run there? You see the wire run there? Watch. Imagine the wire tape up with plastic bag. Look at it. The wires are taped up with plastic bag. Right? Totally unsafe. All of those wires, red and black wires running in the gutter. Right? Really, really unsafe. And a lot of children here, you know, we cheer them. These communities are labeled as the less fortunate. Well, they're not so unfortunate after all, because they got electricity, they got everything in the house. Rent free, electricity free, water free. I ain't seen no water meters here. So it's not so unfortunate after all. But I mean, you know, children will be running around barefoot and all them things. Right? All of them gotta be looked at. Lots of illegal connections here. Very unsafe for children. Look at that. Every wire is just a little scotch tape up thing. So GPL. Yeah. Yeah, man. I gotta stretch up one time and thing, man. Alright, babe, thanks. I'll come with some harder question. I'll come a day, though. That's a good idea. So.
You don't know that is like a separate of people living in this area. How it's so dark. You don't got to buy a school like
Yeah, brother. So residents are conversing with GPL staff and making the case. You got some houses better than others, but nonetheless.
I don't know, man. If you walk everybody around here is now wanting to people. As we saying, this guy needs answers. Some people understand the language, some people don't understand the language. You know what I'm telling you? And so these like days was like separating the connection between the people there. Because some people might pass and all might tell you boring.
Let me go down and see. It looks like this thing goes down. Alright. So alright. So as you see this is whining. You know. There's a lot of what them banner walking here. They got a slipper with them my foot wet and everybody's kid foot, buddy. This is unsafe, real unsafe. You know what I'm saying? These babies they are about the place. Oh God, it's this slippery. Yeah. So right, you got the winding through with no place in solid, this place in dry. You got so much wires running all about the place. This is unsafe, man. This can't continue. If you want to facilitate people, if you want for sorry for people, this can't continue. This is a totally unregulated, unrealistic practice, electricity theft. And as I've outlined before, there's a lot of different aspects to this. Safety, the fact that the electricity theft, somebody else paying the bill, you know. It's not fair to other people. If you want to be fair, it's not fair to the others. So something will be done here. I know government tries in most cases to regularize things, but electricity theft is a no-no. And again, for those of you who just tuned into the Guyanese Critic Live, I'm coming to you from Rang Torn, a housing settlement, a squatting area, so to speak, in Guyanese terms. That is on the east bank of Berbice, and GPL are here conducting a loss reduction, electricity theft, disconnection exercise. So GPL is talking with the residents. One of the members of the crew have since been warning people, because they said they've been in this area 3 times before, and they've been warning people. And all these wires you're seeing above is not clotheslines, by the way, is electricity wires running all over overhead. Everywhere you look, a wire is running from somewhere to somewhere else, right? Wires running, and not safe wires, by the way, right?
Yeah,
So, so GPL is organizing themselves in a manner where they're removing the illegal connections. And this here is a GPL's loss reduction unit, a unit within the Guyana Power and Light Corporation that deals with electricity theft across Guyana, and goes across the country with the intention of minimize or eradicate electricity theft. Most of the times this is a collaborative effort with the Guyana Police Force, who make sure that order is kept when they're removing the illegal connections. And I know where's the standstill, but I know they're looking for the electricity sources, to be able to make sure when they're removing the wires, it is safe for GPL staff.
Big critics, man.
Yeah.
Going on for you.
I dare you try, man. Yeah, no complaints, man.
Admire program.
Thanks for the support, man.
Yeah, admire program. As up on the live video or something. Yeah, but you got a little one in this bush, man. That's a little one. The Wi-Fi, them the one using to do the school work.
Me and Fat is your friend? Me and no.
Like you and she like.
So, let me go the other side here and see what's going on through here. And they got a lot of really crack in this here, yo. By eating ice cream early, by custard. So, you got a next passageway through here. Hey, baby. All right. Yeah, no complaints. So, and remember, these wires got electricity. You see, I got steel chicken pen there. You get wire exposed, you harm them children. And these are circumstances people are willing. Again, houses go so the guy you cross through, and you could wind your way through this whole place. And again, is Venezuelan and Guyanese, Venezuelan immigrants and Guyanese, also a mixture of in this area. So you got wires all landed in place. Everything is swamp and wires crossing overhead, right? All the way going back. So I see lampposts. It seems that there's a back street, and this area has been caught between two streets. So you got a back street there where electricity coming from. GPL is trying to get to the sources and remove the all right, yeah, chief, good. So the intention is to remove the wire, but you know, in most cases these things hook up back before the night is out. And again, it is an unsafe practice. Too many people have died as a result of this unsafe practice.
Michael!
See if you can get me an outbreak.
Michael!
Which wire? Which wire am I carrying?
Michael!
So some people don't understand normally what the process is supposed to be. Once wire is found, and I don't know why GPL don't enforce it. GPL is supposed to be bringing charges against these individuals. So So I think one of the problems is, from what you're hearing here from people with a wire, one of the problems is people don't know the legality. Normally GPL come and conducts a loss reduction exercise and just cut off the wires and discontinue the electricity supply. What should be happening is that these connectivity is supposed to be taken as evidence and charges supposed to be brought against people. I don't know why, because there are laws for that. There's laws for that, right? So I don't know what game GPL playing, if they're trying to play nice guy, good guy, but how I know how it's supposed to be done. There's laws for theft of electricity, and GPL is supposed to be taking the wires, documenting the homes that the wires attached to, and bringing charges against people. I don't know why that has been discontinued. I'm supposing that is up to GPL to decide. And if there are no deterrents created for electricity theft, then what stops people from hooking up back? Look at the circumstances these girls have to work under. Yes, sir. Wire in the dirt, right? Wires are all about the place in the ground. Now these are GPL workers, but look at the circumstances they have to put themselves under now because of this job and just to keep people safe. Yes, sir. They gotta come in these circumstances for right the wrongs that other people are doing. So given what the lady is saying, obviously they're not adequately informed as to how this works. And the loss reduction exercise for GPL, or theft of electricity, supposed to be met with or followed up with charges. GPL has discontinued. I haven't heard that for a long while, but citizens now are thinking that they are afforded the right to commit illegal acts, and like GPL doing them a favor, right? In highlighting this, I think GPL should revisit their process of how they will be addressing the loss reduction exercise. And if there is not a deterrent created, then how do they expect for people to be guided by the law. Look at the amount of wires coming out from all over the place, right? Illegal wires in the ground. So that is to be looked at. Government has to decide if they would regularize, and government have regularized many squatting areas. How they plan to do that, the expediency in which they plan to do that is a different thing from GPL's need to ensure that people don't steal electricity, cause problems to the network, cause danger to themselves, and cause discomfort as a result of high costs of electricity to paying customers, right? So again, that is the whole, I would want to think that surrounds the concept of GPL's need for loss reduction, right? I'm hearing citizens talking about the wire and the by the wire, but I don't think GPL has adequately transferred the information. I don't know where it comes from, how the decisions are made, but I know that it is illegal to steal electricity, and there's charges for person who commits certain acts. And so far I've seen GPL removing the wires, trying to create a safe atmosphere, an environment for the citizens, but I've not seen people being charged. And from what I hear from the lady talking, is she somehow have the sense, yeah, brother, yeah, no complaints. She has the sense that she's doing something right, and I think those where the problem lies with certain citizens, not understanding that not because people are being nice with you, not because GPL come and all they're doing is removing the wires, but GPL should have been charging people. GPL should have been bringing in people, bringing in the police, and making sure they document the electricity theft, where the wires, some wires are even running through here just now, going all the way to the back, wire on this lamp post. A lot of wires was on that lamp post. So looking at this and making an assessment, I could say from my point of view, obviously GPL has to up their game. A lot of people are not going to like it. That's why we're discussing it. A lot of people are not going to like the fact. But if people are not made aware, like people commit traffic offenses on the road, they're charged. Any offense that people commit, they're charged. And you have people committing what could be considered major crime because you're putting people's lives in danger, you're participating in electricity theft that affects the national grid, and then GPL comes and just removes your wire and tell you about your safety and warn you. No, it is as a result of that you see the people are cursing now and say with GPL buy the wire and all and things. Well, the whole process that they have participated in is an illegal one, and hence people should face the full brunt of the law when you commit illegalities. I also have to speak for the people and say, well, government could look at it and figure out how they could regularize it. But in the meantime, GPL has to do the job. The Guyanese critic coming to you from East Bank Borbies, where GPL is conducting a loss. East Bank Essequibo, where GPL is conducting a loss reduction exercise.